Howdy, everybody. Welcome back. My name's Austin, and we're going to be jumping into another Super Robot Wars R scenario. I would say on the whole, this is one of my more favorites. It feels like it actually puts some good deal of pressure on you. We're just going to pretend that there's a different condition in it than it says it is, but we'll get there when we get there. If you are a careful observer, we have the same amount of funds as we did last time. I was sitting here thinking I was probably going to do preps on camera this time. I haven't really done any yet, and I think I would like to start trying to. Maybe I won't for this playthrough, and I'll just ask the reception of that. Like, do people want to see preps on camera, or would it be better if I made preparations like a separate video? I feel like there's not a ton of preps in this game, so it's like maybe not as worthwhile. To me, a lot of this game is like forward planning. If you don't have things planned well to begin with, it's going to go poorly, or vice versa. If we plan really well, it makes the scenarios really easy. So I think it's really important to see some of this and like talk through some of the logic, but maybe that's just not like fit for purpose for this game. But either way, as I was thinking about it more, I just would rather keep the funds and save them for our upcoming pilots in 2 scenarios. We did switch over the excellence to flyer. We did that last scenario, but I wanted to look at it again to make sure it was true. We're gonna need her to fly over a large cliff. We did get some new units this last time, but we're gonna see those in the mission, so we're just gonna jump in right away. The game did outsmart me a little bit. I was expecting that I could put some parts on some units that were going to get force deployed, but unfortunately, I can't. This scenario is maybe why I would also recommend. I tried to say this up front. We sort of like I think we sort of lost this thread in the early stages. But if you are playing this game for the first time, I don't think it's a bad idea to use Jared a little bit. Giving him a couple levels will do decently well for this scenario. I was hoping that pause was going to give me enough time for it to like go into the scenario, but nope, we still got more talking. Do other ones of these games, maybe someone's told me already, do other games have the ability where I can skip all the story? This is really a lot of time. I guess I could be cutting all this out. I really expect this to be faster. I do sort of like to grab us at the top of preps, but if I'm not actually showing preps, there's really no reason to. I could just be grabbing us once the mission starts. Maybe we'll do that for the next one. Let's see if that cuts out some time. Oh boy, this is so much talking. How's everyone doing? Have you ever just been in a meeting where everyone else can't stop talking? It's like, I gotta get home. I got Pilates to get to. My pet raccoon needs me. That's what this feels like. I'm sure the story is very interesting, but good gracious, is there so much of it? Okay. Combattler, Carrot, Getter, Voltace. I switched to the wrong order again. Diana, Excellence, Venus, Noble. Sure, the Night Target could come with too. Here we go. Look, like this is great positioning. This is so much more interesting. Okay. This is also one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the money on me, is to like give myself some stakes. So we have 2 of our units just smack in the middle of enemy forces, and I think that's just excellent. It feels a very fun challenge to try and like get them out of it. But one of the things I wanted to do was I was going to preemptively give the double X some evasion parts, but I can't do that because we don't technically get the double X until right this moment. You could, I believe the double X gets upgrades from the X2. Don't quote me on that. I do have that written down somewhere. I've checked that, but I don't know for sure. But this is one of the reasons why you might want to invest in Jared some, so that he can like actually survive this part of the scenario. 4, on the other hand, is wholly new, so you can't really do anything with her. She does have 2 different units she can come in. One is either the Gundam Mark III, or she can come with just a lowly Jigan. She gets the Gundam Mark III if you land on Axis, or 5th Luna, in Scenario 2, if you take the Gundam route. Because you get a mass-produced new Gundam, and the Gundam Mark III is like vaguely similar to that, I guess. But that is the condition to get access to it. It's not bad. It's pretty generic, but it's definitely better than a Jigan is. So here are our options. Oh, wait, we don't have... Never mind. Let's not talk about options yet. Let's talk about the rest of the units. We're going to get 2 more friends coming from this path. On turn 2, they're going to be rather relevant. And we got upgrades to our... the rest of the Gundam X boys. The Leopard is Leopard Destroy now. It's just all, like, both of these are all around better upgrades. I would say the Leopard Destroy also assumes that you took the route split where you had the Gundam X pilots with you. Because you can see it also has an A in water, and that's because the Gundam Leopard gets a water form if you do a secret in one of the in the route split that we didn't go on. So there is some utility there. We can definitely toss them in the water, and that's like not nothing. I don't think there's a lot of water left in the game, though. It's like maybe that's a little unfortunate, but and then we also got the Airmaster Burst, which is again also just a strict upgrade from the Airmaster. We get 200 more points of damage onto our attacks for free, and then some increased mobility and armor. So with that, now we can talk about our plan. We do just kind of want to hoof it like as fast as we can in this diagonal direction to meet up with our units. These 2 can either park it on the base. That does provide a pretty sizable evade bonus. So like we're looking at what, 58. We have focus that takes us down to 28, and then we can also dodge that takes us down to 14. Or we can try to run away from all of these bosses because we've got the Frost Brothers, Rakan Daggeron's back, and Lemmy Toto's also here, along with Abel. Abel, what's his name? Hold on. Abel Bauer. So trying to get as far away from the bosses as possible is also not a bad plan, and we can fly down here and try and get us to meet up with our allies. We're gonna have to fly through some other bosses, though. This is loaded with bosses. There's Enil L, Chora Barton, and Wu Fei Chong. They're definitely more like mid-bosses, sub-bosses. They're also all playable characters. We can't get them from this scenario, but I guess it's worth noting you can make this scenario harder for yourself if you don't use Jared and you do use any combination of these 3, and then you go to a new game plus, and then come back to this scenario. Because these are pilots you can recruit, they will come with all of the things you've given them. So like all of their kill count, and thus giving them more morale, that'll be here. If they get any bonus stats because they have higher kills than anybody, that'll also be present here. It's a real humdinger. I played with Wu Fei a lot, and he was nigh untouchable. I had to bullseye and flash to even have a hope of hitting him. Like, I was really looking at my most accurate units were looking at like maybe a 10 to 15% chance to hit because I had used him. It's a funny problem. So let's see where moving everyone across this crater will take us. We could move up this sort of pathway, but that's considerably slower. And seeing as all of our units, or most of our units, can fly now, that's fully not correct. That does not feel like, that feels like a waste of time. Yeah, for all my complaints about putting us too far away, honestly, I wish we had been maybe just one more turn far away from here. Just to, like, really let us sweat the fact that we have units in enemy forces. But so here's the disappointing part. Here's the part that I wanted to add my own stakes onto. It doesn't matter if those two die at all. Like, you don't get a game over. Nothing bad happens. They just die. You do still have to, like, pay for them. But that's whatever. I wonder, so I didn't actually use the Excel movement. I wonder if we'll get to keep Excel, because we didn't, like, go on its spaces. No, we don't. I already consumed it there. We can see. I think there is some game where if you don't actually use the movement from Excel, that it will just stay banked until you do. That sounds like a thing that Neo would do. I feel like that might be a Neo thing. We do want to move more diagonally. Okay, but yeah, so these two can die and doesn't matter, which is, I think, a bummer. It might be a bit unfair if you had to keep them alive, if you, like, weren't used to playing around. But I think it's a bummer. I don't know why I'm checking this as if I didn't just use Flash. So we're just gonna have these two run away, I think, is our plan. There's definitely an interesting option, though. Considering that we're sort of assuming we're going to lose these units, we could just, like, chalk 4 up for dead. Move her next to a boss, one turn, and then, like, dodge through that turn. And then self-destruct her the next turn. Is definitely an option. There is definitely a version of this game where you just throw your units around like bombs and just self-destruct at everybody that you can. It is not one I have played. Like, you definitely can't do that to beat it. You do need someone alive on the battlefield for you not to get a game over. But maybe if you want to try and use the battleships as your carries, I don't know if you could actually even do that. That's not what we want to turn the demos off. I don't know if you could play the game with just the battleships, but, like, if you're, like, primarily focusing the battleships, maybe that's the plan, where they just have units inside them that they, like, run out and self-destruct. I guess they can't stay inside them, though, because you don't have, like, you can't post movement the spirits. You get the idea, though. It's neat. I also said that we don't get them here, but that might not be true. Let me make sure I don't have to do anything to add even here for this. I know there's something you need to do with Wu Fei in order to get him, but I believe that's a later scenario. If you want to follow along at home, I am opening up the, I believe I've called it flowchart. Flowchart, yeah. I know Endiol does not come from here. Okay, this is scenario 20. No, I don't have anything marked as a flag here. It's... yeah, okay. Altron Gundam, Gundam Double X. I would rather just dodge. Yeah. We will need to shoot these down at some point. And then the only person we're missing from Gundam Wing is Hero at this point. All right, so we have two units that are going to feature very prominently in our team for the rest of the game. We're gonna be without them for a scenario, but that's fine. They're temporary, so we get them for now. Next scenario they leave, and then they'll come back. I believe these are our first temporary. These are the first units that are temporary we're going to actually use long term. Anything you do with them does persist. So these two naturally are joining at +4. Yeah, so the average of your team +4, and then they will rejoin. And that's not the scenario for them. They will rejoin at. Oh, I don't have those listed. Okay. Well, they'll rejoin later, and they will take into account any levels or experience they've gotten during this scenario and add that on top of whatever they would normally start with. So it's not a waste of time using them. And that's true for every temporary unit. It's just we've never really wanted to use the temporary units before. Their downside is that they are on the ground, but I would say other than that, they are really rather potent. Sandrock has 3 decent post-movement attacks, and it has just a 5-range post-movement attack to start. What's also very good about them is that they don't need morale to get started. Quattro comes with some decent skills. He does have leadership, which is definitely a plus. I will never say no to more leadership on the team. As I said before, I don't think it's enough. If you start with leadership 5, then maybe I'll be like, yeah, no, I'll consider just keeping that on the team for just that. But it's one of the better things that he brings to the team, but it's not the only thing. The Death Scythe looks kind of bad in terms of numbers. Up front, it has not the greatest of mobility, not the greatest armor. It also only has a 1-2 and a 1-3 post-movement attack, and you know I've complained about that before. But 7 move is not nothing to start, and it has not here, both a beam coating and jammer. I was not using the 10-10 over the Shi. It also has hyper jammer, so it both absorbs beam damage, and it has one of those I believe hyper jammer is a 25% chance to dodge anything. It might even be 50. So a lot of its defensiveness comes from skills and abilities. It also starts with level 4 counter, so it's more often than not. It's close to, maybe not 50%, but it's very likely for it to dodge. Or to counterattack enemies. So if it is... It's very likely for it to counterattack enemies. If it would kill them, odds are it's going to... man, I'm struggling right now. Hold on, we're taking the whole sentence again. It has a really high level of counter for the 3rd time. So one of the other ways it has a defensive, part of its defensive profile, is that it will kill those enemies before they can kill it. I don't know why that one really got me. It also means I just wasted the move with the burst. So one of the other things we have is oh right, I read that B as a bait. We do have an extra attack on the plane mode, the mobile armor mode now, but it is not post movement. I was moving it like it was post movement, but it's just beam based. Okay. We can get the Getter 1 back and just slap it in the middle of this formation like usual. It really does work working in triangles. Hold on. What was our chance to hit? Here, it's 70. Okay, I think we're just going to use a focus for this turn. Oh, they don't even have focus. There's so many different Getter pilots, and they get a really different pool of skills across games. I really expected them to have focus. I think Hayato, who's usually the Getter 2 pilot, or is the Getter 2 pilot for some versions of it, has focus. Hayato is never the Getter 2 pilot for the Neo Getter, but you don't often have... The Neo Getter is also not the most common Getter to start with. So I guess we're trying to bullseye. I was thinking about focusing because that means we had a good hit on the Ultron Gundam next turn too. Where like now we're back down to our poor accuracy again, so we're going to figure out something else to do. I guess that said, we do want to still get 4 and Jared out of here. We don't actually really care where they're going at this point. Like, 4 could just go wander off down here. This whole corner is not going to get used. So as long as she's out of enemy range, we can like have her connect up with everybody else later. What's our post movement option? Oh right, of course. Let's... Yeah, one of these will work. We'll just have him chip. I'm sure this group is not staying alive for enemy phase. I think what would have been better was having him just fully get out of town. I did sort of... I put focus on before I realized he wasn't going to have a good post-movement attack. I just wanted to take advantage. I wanted to use the focus I gave him to get on attack in, but probably what would have been better, even after that, was, rather than committing really hard, was just having him leave. But you don't come here for good plays. Or if you do, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep disappointing you. Right at the good part of the song, too. Yeah, this worked out really well. I've definitely had too many ground units before and not cut across this rock this way. And just been, like, not been able to rescue our other units for turns. I don't recommend it. I mean, I do recommend it. It's more interesting that way, but... I think I also made it harder on myself because I have just had them sit on the base. And that's definitely way more risky. We can't get her up there. No, we can't. Sure, 10 for 1 experience. It's fine. The Kara can go anywhere, but we wanted the Dietarn's hurt, the Getter's hurt, and the Combattler's hurt. We can stick it behind the Combattler. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get attacked probably. Yeah, that's fine. We're out of units to move, so I guess my turn's over. Not the choice. That was... You had anything you could go for, and that was one you picked. No. Yeah, that works. Okay, and nothing else. The only other change that's going to happen is once we clear the field. We're not going to really use 4 long-term, but if she can get these, why not? She is more range-focused, and there's no reason to, like, save ammo from her. Oh, he is going in. I believe that means he's dead next turn. He does not have a lot of health. I mean, none of the Gundam units do. That's fine. I think she should probably also be dead next turn. Shame none of them are worth a lot. Right? And heal's only worth 2,000. Does she have... No, that's blocking that she's got. She doesn't have a shield, that's fine. And that's it, she is just a cartridge, so yeah, she'll go down. She'll go down fast. I guess that's also not like her ultimate unit, but she's gonna come and you get that pilot, not that unit. For some reason, he's got a shuffle badge. Wrong Gundam series with just a letter associated with it. His new type is not high enough to warrant a lot of concern. And his stats are kind of poor by comparison, I think. Yeah, they're not. They're okay. But there is sort of no point to giving him like a skill that boosts those stats and then decreasing those stats to compensate. So like Wits is at 142 and 147. And he's at 147 and 154. So okay, it's a little bit more, but Wits is also 4 levels down, so what? That's 146 and 153. Still can't get the right one. 146 and 153. Okay, so he's 1 point higher than Wits, and then also gets the new type benefits. And we've been calling Wits like decently dodgy, so I guess I can't be too harsh on him. I guess let's see. Oh no, okay, no, we're having trouble hitting him. I guess we already had focus on from the previous pilots. Never mind. That was me misreading. One day. Someday. Giving one of these to 4 is probably going to be likely. I guess we should also look. I don't believe anybody retreats in this scenario, even the usual suspects. Yeah, no one retreats in this scenario, even of the Frost Twins. Oh, he can definitely get that. And for some money, why not? We don't really care about Daunt. We don't have to, like, do this with any haste. But, like, this feels good, right? Like, things are kind of spread out a little bit more. I do feel like the second portion of the scenario could start a little sooner rather than be on all enemies dead. It could be, like, on all but the bosses dead or on 3 bosses dead or something like that. What are we looking at here? A 13% chance. Okay, maybe we won't rush him up there quite so much. Something smells good. I hope my grill's not still on. I'm just still thinking about lunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'd rather kill a boss instead. Yeah, this works out fine. And then... you know, we've gone out of our way for less money before. Oh, well. Carrot can do it? Yeah, Carrot can do it. We're never going to need a bullseye for that, though. We're also never going to make the same mistake again of using the 2-week attack. Never again. Never again. Alright, Abel's down. And the shuffle badge is in our possession. I do think we're going to have 4 go a little bit more lefterly. We got still 2 more spaces out of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Ooh, that'll work. And then Neil's dead to something generic. Though I think actually Jared could probably do it with the new gun. Focus. Do we have... No, we don't have any commands left. If I'd planned a little better, I could have probably moved Catchroot down next to Jared to get his command up. Or not command, leadership. It's very hard. I like want to try and codify some, or like establish some consistent naming conventions. I think I've said this before. But like I started playing these games with whatever I just saw online, so like some of those are really burned into my mind. How much are these worth? 1900? Not the most. We've still got lots of spirits left though. A little more risky than I should have been, but it's okay. Ooh, you know what? I think I'm gonna have some grilled sticky buns after this. I saw my parents the other day, and they left me some grilled sticky buns. It was very nice of them. I didn't know when I was gonna use them, but that seems good. That'll work. What are we doing with that phase? Okay. You know, we will give it to Diana, that's fine. The healers can get kills. Did I not select the G Gundam pilots this scenario? Because they sure aren't here. Can you not use them this scenario, maybe? The Gundam wing is getting, like, wrecked. I did sort of line up for that, didn't I? There's no way not to approach and have this happen, unless we just approach with only one unit. See, like, I think that's sort of the point of a lot of these type of units, is that they're just, like, way better for being enemies than they are for being allies. Like, walking into something like that is miserable. But do we need a Valor? No, we don't need a Valor too. If we don't get this done here, we can do it with something else. Walking into it's miserable, but getting the enemies to just feel slow. That being said, maybe I just want to rush things. I will say, like, even outside of like the mistakes that I've been making, I do feel like I've just been playing this one a little bit weirder. Maybe it's like the pressure on camera, feeling like I gotta go. But like the aggressive attacks with Karat, that is not normally how I would be using it. Though I think I am just used to. I do play a lot more passively when I'm like not on the camera. But I don't know if that's necessarily interesting to watch, so we're not gonna do that. Oh, perfect. Okay, we can get her next to Karat for some energy next turn. Ooh, we can finally have the G Gundam boy see some action. What are our spirits looking like? You know what? Let's use it confused, and you can see how long this takes. Look at all of this time. You can't skip it. This cuts enemy accuracy in half. I believe is how that numbering works. Yeah, so it had 43 hit before, now it's 21. The rounding gets a little goofed up with this game, but that'll let us be nice and aggressive this turn. And that persists into enemy phase 2. So you can really save yourself a lot of trouble. I don't think Patrick can get in here for... Oh, he can. Oh, just onto one of the Frost Brothers. I don't think we're gonna bother with focus. I think we're just gonna walk up and smash him with one of these two. I think this will be our better choice. We've got to kill one other thing, and then the Voltace is ready for a big attack. Though, yeah, we can actually... Here's... Okay. We want the Combattler... We're going to have the Combattler here to attack... who is this? Ulba. And then the Voltace can use the combined attack and attack Frost, or attack Ashagya. Do we just have 2 willpowers available to us? Ooh, okay. Yeah, here. Okay. So we gotta use a spirit off of everybody to make full use of this. We can flash. We're also gonna need to bullseye. So we're 10 SP away from being able to use Spirit again, but we can spend Dedication on ourselves. Then we have enough, and she will get that SP back also. So it's not even that much of a cost for her. Like, that Spirit only actually costs 20. 20 is still not nothing, but it's still useful. Okay, and then we can have the Getter... Ooh, not even the Getter doesn't even have to do it. No, she's too far away. Yeah, we'll have the Getter weaken that. Full heal. Actually, this is worthwhile. Like, using Confuse a second time won't do anything. They're already under the effects of it, so like you can see the Spirit on them in the bottom. Actually, here this has never come up before. You can see it down here in this bottom left-hand corner. So casting actually, hold on, sorry, we should still be selected on this screen to not get any weird this audio blips. So using Confuse on them a second time won't do anything. They're already under the effects of it. It's not like it cuts it in half in the way that, like, Daunt knocks their morale down. But here's the other trouble. So he's at 134. We do want to get a kill still. Oh, no, hold on. The Dietard can maybe do it. Maybe Wits can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he is Valor. He's got Valor. If we can knock out both of the Frosts this turn, that would be incredible. We sure can. Oh, I didn't realize we had 18 hit. I thought we used a bullseye. That's a shame. Okay. I just don't think... oh, we're 1 space away. Okay. Well, if I remembered to use that focus like we were supposed to, I think we could do it. We're gonna still try. I think the Die Tank's movement is garbage. Yeah. Nope. Die Fighter. We'll remember to bullseye this time. No reason to take hits we don't need to take. Okay. Not a ton of damage. That scrub with the Getter really made this hard. Okay. Not that we have to kill either of them this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would just be cool if we could. Maybe we just change who is the target. Oh boy, they're so hard to hit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. But not impossible to hit. We'll focus. Okay, what are we looking at here? He's got everything. He can still get everything from his own team. We don't need to worry about blessing. Okay, that's not nothing. If we can get the Allenby hit in also, 1, 2, 3, 4. But she can't be close enough, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to get the leadership bonus off of Katra, but we may as well go for it. Okay, that's fine. I think we can still probably kill Shagya with just the regular attack. So we're going to use the Voltace for that, or the Combattler for that, and then have the Voltace come in second and get the rivalry bonus and the combination attack to kill Ulda. Okay, that's there. Do we have everything on? We have Blessing and we have Game. Or Fortune in the game. This is a boss kill. I guess those other two were boss kills and I didn't turn them on, but these are major bosses. Those other ones barely count. Chotenki Yo-Yo. I would really love a modern, like, Super Robot show like this. And I know we have, like, some are coming out. What's the new one? What's the, like, vaguely new one? I think the most recent one I've heard about is Bravern. But that feels like that has a slightly different tone to it than I'm thinking of. Like, I want these, like, old, chunky, kind of tin can looking deals. Like, give me a new Tetsujin. Don't, like, update it to look like a football player, though. Yeah, that's the plan. Oh, man, I can't wait until maybe the next thing we play on this. I think I just really love these games, if you can't tell. I think the next thing I want to do is something with Giant Robo. I really love its, like... It has very, very minimal design to it. Like, it's not overly designed, but it strikes just such a, like, significant profile. If you like giant robots, you look at it and you go, like, it's very distinctive looking. It's not necessarily, like, the most elaborate design. It's not, like, the best design I've ever seen. But it's, like, really, really good. It's really high quality with some, like, very, on the whole, more basic design elements. Like, basic and simple are not necessarily a bad thing. Like, you just need to do them really well. I think it's very easy for us to, like, look at designs, even visual or mechanical, and say that simple is bad. I think it's only because doing simple well is really hard, and doing complex really well. It's very easy to make complexity look good because of the nature of it being complex. I think that whole series is very good at Giant Robo, that is very good at having what could otherwise be, like, really, really basic elements be very meaningful. The specials, on the other hand, I don't think are very, very good. Whenever we have a special that we're like, yes, how could we put a female character in a very sexually compromising situation? I'm never going to be a fan. I would say I hope for obvious reasons, but unfortunately, I don't think they probably are. It is one of sort of the downsides of a lot of this media, is that we just, like, randomly have very disrespectful scenes going on. But I think that's why I was sort of taken more. I don't think this is, like, symptomatic of any one genre or one subgenre in particular. But I think that's why I was taken more with the real robot genre. I think we tend to get more sincere conversations about like how the world is working, or like what, like 2, 3, 4, 5. What we can see as like very clear parallels to real life, and like try to problematize issues more than like exclusively fan service. And now, mind you, I understand that the media is going to have fan service, and I don't need to like it. I also understand that fan service doesn't have to just be like sexually gratifying. It's unfortunate when that is the option that's chosen, but like I would describe Carrot being in this game as like fan service, because he doesn't really have much business being here. Or in D, they have the Torres with one of them has a resupply and one of them has a repair module attached to it. Like, that doesn't make sense at all with how the Torres work in Wing. But I would describe that as being fan servicey, because people want to see those characters get to do something more meaningful in the game like they do in the show. And like I think that's good. Like if we insist on having fan service, make it that kind, where we get more characters getting to perform roles more akin to the like narrative potency they have in a game that like the gameplay is not necessarily narrative driven. I keep not putting bullseye on him. What am I doing? Good gracious. I'm getting too distracted by conversations about like media consumption. But I do think it's important. Like I even something that seems innocuous like this, I do think we need to consider, you know, what we are consuming. I think a lot of people get very attached to the idea that like we learn those behaviors from media. I'm not sure if I fully agree. I think I would describe it more as we practice those ideas. Like, I think if you are already someone who looks at people disrespectfully, you're going to do that whether like you didn't learn to do that from watching a show, right? Like you'll choose media that reflects that one or reflects that behavior. But I don't think it's going to be news to you. 2, 3, 4, 5. When a show is like framed in a way that when a show frames or emphasizes those elements of it, I don't think someone's going to learn to be that way because of it. They're going to seek out media that does that already. I think either way, it is like still a problem, but I think thinking about how we can communicate what is good media requires us to understand what the problems are and where they come from, you know? Which is also not to say that, like, I think having attractive characters in media is, like, probably also a fine thing. Like, that's okay. It's about, like, agency of those characters. Like, even though they're not real people, you know, think about them as if they are, and if they were, would this be okay? I feel like that's, like, a decent baseline. I didn't expect to get here, but I think this is evidence that I've reached my limit for, like, good recording brain for the day. I'm gonna start rambling, and this is just always where my brain goes. I'm just always angry about most media. And like, I think this conversation is, like, considerably more deep than I've got time for right here. And is also, like, a conversation and not just, like, me yelling on a microphone about it. I'm sure it will probably put some people off. And that's fine. I think it's probably like fair to learn to expect that out of my channel too. Is that we're just like randomly going to go on like a bend about like a social issue or something. It's just how my brain works. So now that we've to return to the actual game we were playing. Now that we've killed everything on the map, once we've destroyed everything on the map, the Resxue enemies come in. We have some more of the like regular junk. We have some Tetsugens, I believe is what these are. Okay, so as much as I struggle with some of the names, I cannot for the life of me tell apart most of the like elite units from Nadeshiko when they're on the map. I get it, but I really have to like I have to look at this and go, I know that this sprite correlates to the Tetsugen. I do not see the Tetsugen rendered small in this sprite. Like the Bada, I look at this and go, oh yeah, this is a small Bada. I look at this, oh, this is a small Katanbo. I look at this and go, this looks like an angel. I don't see it. 13, 14 are Tetsugens, yes. Okay, the Tetsugens, and then the Majin and the Denjin. These two are bosses. They won't retreat. I don't think, like I said before, I don't think anybody does. No, we are free to do whatever we want with them. And again, they're just going to move towards us. We've cleared, I think, the interesting part of this scenario. I think, again, because I was prepared for it, it made it much easier. I think that this scenario is like a very good way to do the sort of like surprise, the surprise objective that you like wouldn't necessarily, that you need to like plan differently for, right? I don't think it's bad if you have to repeat a scenario, certainly not. I think that's fine. But if you are someone who wants to, you know, no reset clears, or we're just like thinking about good, or we're just trying to like think about good design in terms of communicating information to the player. I feel like this scenario has enough leeway such that you can look at it, go, oh, I know what we're trying to do here, and still have the chance to like respond to it, right? I guess because they've been sitting on the base, they've got their energy back. This game was a waste of life. That's okay. Right, like you have time. It's not like an immediate threat. It's also not like a binary of. It's also not a binary like pass fail state, right? Where the defense map is like, well, I still like it. The defense map is like, oh, I figured out what the problem was. If they land there, I lose. I figured it out because they landed there and I lost. Rather than this, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas this, because of like what the problem is, that you have allied units somewhere where they're not supposed to be, or they're not safe. It's very easy to see what you need to do, and therefore can like play around with how to solve that problem. I guess it does. I did go into it with a lot of movement though, knowing that, and I do think having a lot of movement does help make that easier. You might not necessarily have that to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But maybe this just teaches, if you're not used to this like kind of game, maybe what this scenario teaches is that like movement is a really relevant stat that you should be thinking about. Not at all times, but you know, you could do worse than always be considering movement. Like back on? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, we also did not use Excellion. There's a reason we didn't use Excellion. So so useless. I love having the battleships as just like chip from the back row. I don't know what most people do with them. I don't think this is the most optimal way to use them, but I have recommended to people I've tried to teach this game that, like, you know, they're a lost condition. I don't think you're shooting yourself in the foot so hard by just saying, like, you know what, we'll let them hang back. Let's not put into danger something that could just be a game over condition. I think they certainly could be considerably more useful than that, but if you don't know what to do with them, then, like, that's not a bad option. But having the Nadeshko be unable to do anything relevant to a lot of our incoming enemies is a bit of a bummer. Yeah, that's fine. We did hit this. Does the Katambo have... Yeah, they all got distortion fields. The Nadeshko is just... We can sit it here. It does still provide leadership. And we can still attack with missiles. This is their second turn moving, so... Or they arrived. This is, yeah. So the bosses will start moving next turn, is what I'm trying to figure out. I've been less aggressive about it because we just don't get ace bonuses, but I do think my kills are maybe spread out across my units a little bit too much. Having them concentrated on a few really good units might be a better choice, just to give us our ace bonuses sooner. Where are we? Here, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're just shy of getting next to the Carrot. We can sit tight and just not have our best attacks be options for now. Not like the Carrot can't come in and just, you know, fix that next turn. This is 6 range. This is 6 range. We also don't have the luxury of being able to outrange these enemies either. The Tetsujins are like really or right properly tanky. They're not bad. We can't get up here, right? Yeah. This cliff face is creating the sort of the problem scenario. It takes 2 movement to get over it, so a lot of our non-flying units are getting hampered here. See the Death Scythe, the Sandrock, and the Getter 1. I think that's the play. We've got fortunes left on people. I guess we do want to move Roybian. No, the Voltace is the one that still has a fortune left? Yeah, the Voltace is still the one that has a fortune left. The Tetsujins are not worth nothing. Oh, we still got a lot of blessings left. Okay. What have we got? We've got 90 plus... Okay, Sayaka has enough now. Yeah, Sayaka has enough now. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can fortune everybody. So let's use the specific ones now while we can. And then we can use the blessings later. Who else has it? Oh, the carrot has it too. Okay, the carrot will have to kill a Katombo. That's fine. Get him close. So maybe we're not going to restore energy next turn. That's okay. Oh, the carrot can take out that one. Perfect. We'll try to remember to leave that one for the carrot. Who's left over here? We can just give it to the combatant only has 17 kills. I guess because they keep killing bosses is why. Is anyone else closer? She can weaken. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and the combattler can move here, kill here, and then be prepared to intercept that direction. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason we gotta rush this. I think we're gonna... Oh, we could do both of these. You know, let's take out 2 things this turn. I would rather play it safe like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seeing as they're gonna attack us anyway, I'd rather get attacked by something we can counter and thus weaken. I'm gonna move closer so that we can get a better shot at the Petsugen that's left. Yeah, this is fine. Then the carrot can resupply the Daitarn instead. Catcher, get up here. See if you do anything. Chotenki Sabin. Sabine. Yeah, that's fine. We got one more of these left. Perfect. We might end up missing one of these. If we're going to, it's going to be the Katombo from the... Carrot. Katombo and Carrot, they really just took up the same spot in my brain. Oh boy, that's a big range. Okay, I forgot about that from the dungeon. I know we literally just... not just last time, it was 2 times ago, but... This is 8 range? Does he have... That's why he has a linear seat, so he's getting... I believe linear seat's adding a range, because I'm pretty sure we looked at this and it was 6 and 7 last time. Okay. That's fine. So we just move back a smidgen. And that'll solve that problem. Right? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, that sure didn't. I thought it was, well... trying to go too fast. But these aren't even worth that much money. I just always expect bosses to be worth a lot, but they're only 3,000, so it's not even that big a deal if we don't get them. We're definitely going to give this... We gotta start giving Fiona more kills. And we don't have to, but she really can... She could really pop off if we let her. Ooh. We'll give her this Tetsujin instead, because she has 100 hit on it. She'll definitely need some support to get there. Or support. She'll need someone else to do some damage to it to get there, but that's fine. We can arrange that to happen. Okay. If we have... Well, we're out of energy. Oh, right, we were going to resupply with Carrot. Yeah, I think we're just going to do that and just forgo the Katombo's 2,000. we want... Oh, we don't have anything left on that. That's fine. Katra can give a blessing still. And... oh, Royby still has. Okay. Well, he's probably not going to get it either. So maybe we... Well, we no matter what we do, still have one more turn. At least, actually, probably 2 more turns because of how the dungeon's working. One, two, three, four, five. Let's get this sorted now. Focus, and... I don't remember... Oh, it's Cheer. I do remember. I was gonna say, I don't remember what the game... The, like, give a game is called, but it's called Cheer. Yeah, that's definitely within range now. We have a fortune on... We're dead there. Right, Katra still has one more to give, so we can still do that on Genichiro. Focus. He has... Yeah, Distortion Field, so... An attack from the Deshko is pretty worthless. I think Katra's just going to give it to himself, just because we do want Katra to get some kills too. He probably will need a focus to land this. We can use the beam Shodel. How do you pronounce that word? I think it's. Actually, don't know. I feel like I've heard people say both ways confidently are correct. Shotel or Shotel. I did learn the other day that the word scimitar is not a word we should use to describe swords. That it has racist origins. So that's not cool. Interesting. Interesting. That is interesting. Corroboration of that would be, I would find valuable. Actually, we can give this to... Oh, that does mean how we have this set up is that Karat needs to be the one that gets the boss kill. That's fine. Extra level of challenge. No, we still need to see if the Diana can heal anybody. That's still not... What am I doing? Going too fast is what I'm doing. I need, like... You know, I think this is still a popular thing. That YouTubers would put a, like, heart monitor on for horror games. Maybe I should have one on screen, not because to tell if I'm scared, but just so I can look at it, and see, like, oh boy, buddy, your heart rate monitor is twice as fast as it should be. You gotta maybe just slow your roll there. Settle down a little bit. Yeah, okay. I don't hate the idea of daunting. Focus it a little bit. We're looking at 95. We can't... The one ability that's great Albo's on jump is at 130. That is also just a 50% chance to not take damage. So, good thing we don't have to deal with that. We have maybe another Daunt if we want it. We don't have any more dedication, so we don't have another Daunt if we want it. I mean, no harm in trying it. I guess let's use a Confuse if we still have one up. That does cut our... It does cut their accuracy, or their accuracy in half. So what, that was a 57 we were looking at? Now it's a 29, even, yeah, much better. Gobble it all up, that's fine. Okay, so that distortion field also just ate a regular beam weapon. So maybe it's not the gravitational situation. Can you tell that I've not released that video yet? Or made that video yet? I may have released it by this point, so... I wonder if it just absorbs it if it reduces the damage below a certain threshold. That might be what's happening. Right, we only have... Yeah, we just have carrots left. Well, he can get there. Yeah, he sure can get there. We've got a Valor, we've got a Bullseye, we've got a Gain. We've got all of the components to make it happen this turn. Let's see if we can. Okay, so we're not gonna do double damage, but that's fine. Yeah, I figured a focus would do it. She's very good with accuracy. I say that when we've already cut his hit in half, so. Don't we also have extra movement over here? We do have extra movement over here. It would be lovely if I knew the names of half these pilots, but I do... my Japanese is not great. If the name is just kanji, I really do struggle with it. Oh, we have a Valor left, even. This is why I like the Voltes. Sure. XP. This is... I'm planning on this being the last turn. Okay, we're at 84. This should be +6. No, that was +15. Good gracious. What level of leadership do we have? Oh, we got 3 levels of leadership? Okay. I think the Carrot can do it this turn. One, two, three, 4, 5. Despite the fact that the distortion field has this sort of like slurpy sound effect, I will not repeat it. That feels like in other video games, it would communicate to you that something is being like, yeah, that noise. That something is being drained. Nothing is being drained here. He's not like regaining anything. We're drained though. We are draining his energy rapidly by hitting him with all these distortion. Try and activate his distortion fields. We also did take him off of his 2-7 range attack. I did not realize. Because of how Hokushin is, there's a couple other bosses. Hokushin, Zero are the two that I'm like the two major ones I'm thinking of that regain morale just so stupidly fast. Yep, good. Just honestly, at this point, I think we might just try and get all of it out of him. Because what'll be the worst is if Parrot could kill, but instead it gets absorbed by the distortion field because it's just not enough damage. I mean, him attacking is also wasting some. Yeah, it's still shooting out 15 each time. Oh man, I miss being able to do this. This feels like an early games strat, like complete box strat. That was not right. We're just gonna have to go in and hope. Great. Yeah, there we go. There was the hyper jammer absorbing it too. Does anyone have Mercy left? Okay, the Combattler has Mercy. Let's remember. Skill is the 202, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's melee range, defense, skill, evade, hit. I guess we can just look at both. Mercy only works if you have higher skill than the other pilot. So he's got 156 and 211. So no matter what, neither of them work. It doesn't matter which one it is. But I'm pretty sure it's. I'm pretty sure it is this number. I'm fairly confident that this says defense. Okay, so we can't use Mercy. Mercy would say if you would kill, they go to 10 HP instead. I just don't want to accidentally do too much damage to him. I bet the Die Fighter will. Especially with the distortion field going. We will need a bullseye for that, though. We don't have a bullseye for that. Okay, what if we get right in his face? Yeah, good. Okay, no more distortion field left. He is a little out on attacks, though. The rocket punch still happens. Can we clear the rocket punches with really low accuracy attacks? No. Okay, the carrot can get over here. I do want the Combattler next to him for the attack. This is still fine. Well, this is still just checking. That is the rocket punch. 1,300 damage. We probably shouldn't use everybody because we do want to kill him this turn. So... exactly where we wanted him to be. We do want to save a unit or two in case we do need to use someone else if we miss with the funds with Fortune. Everyone's in decent shape. Okay, well, I should have looked at what range we had access to before I counted everybody. Alright, let's suit up. We definitely need that. We definitely need this. We definitely need this. We have Valored already. We need a bullseye. Why not get some extra XP? We could also try and heal him. No. Alright. Hopefully this is a kill. This is so silly. Incredible, perfect. You really can do, like, anything with this game. I do really like games that are more like playgrounds in that way, where, you know, if you know what's going on well enough, you can just sort of... You can push stuff around and be very creative. There's lots of player expression. And the same reason why I like things like Final Fantasy or Pokemon is that, like, yeah, I mean, technically there's a story, but on, like, your second or third playthrough, you can still definitely get some bits out of it, but not necessarily the reason why you're there. You could think about what you did last time and go, oh, okay, I didn't notice this mechanic before, let's try and take advantage of this. I feel like I constantly ask people to, like, make comments. I don't care about it for the, like, YouTube reasons. That doesn't bother, that's unimportant to me. It's just my way of, like, having a conversation with people across time and space. I do wonder for people who are, like, kind of coming into this game new. I think the language barrier makes this more difficult, but there is just such a density of systems at play that are happening here. How much more or less complicated it feels than other tactics games. Like, I'm used to them. I feel like I would describe R as not being that mechanically dense as opposed to some of the other series, or some other games. but I do think it is more mechanically dense than other tactics games I have played that people like think of when they think of tactics games. That's it. So that was that scenario. I think it's one of the better scenarios, both because of what we talked about, where like you have allies you need to rescue, and getting to rescue them puts you in a position where the enemy reinforcements sort of have the advantage over you as you're trying to climb up the cliff. That at this point, though, I don't know how much more we're going to be threatened. We've only seen one unit go down one time, and that was just because I really deeply miscalculated. We might, in 2 scenarios, we might see someone go down, but I would like to be wrong. I would like to be pushed a little bit more. I hope this is clear based on the numbers we've been showing, right? Like, you can go back and check. And just I would hope how I am presenting myself. But it's not like I've been farming these, right? Like, I have not died to the scenario a couple of times and then gone back with some extra levels or something. Like, these are directly carried over from the last session. Because you could, if you lose to a scenario, you will keep all the levels that you've gained. You won't keep the funds. You will keep the credits, but you will keep the levels. It's definitely a way to make the game easier if you need to. You can't out-level the game ever. You can't out-level the game forever. Every next scenario will scale up to what levels you enter the scenario at, but you could... It won't keep scaling once you've gotten there. So, if you get to a scenario and it says your average team level is 29, it will stay at 29 regardless of what levels you gain during that scenario. So if you want to recheck it 2 or 3 times, or replay it 2 or 3 times, by losing, you would keep those levels, and they wouldn't make that scenario any harder. If you need me to clarify that more, I'm happy to do so. But I think that's where we will leave things for today. I think I've fatigued myself. I think it's my 3rd video today. Yeah, I think it's my 3rd video today. So I think it's time to go grill up some sticky buns. Probably keep playing these games, to be honest. Just maybe not on microphone. But yeah, I think that'll about wrap it up for me. I hope you all have enjoy the rest of your day whenever you may be watching this, and I will hopefully catch you for the next episode. Take care, everybody.